This tarot card reading is not for everyone. I'm going to use my mediumistic, you can let Campbell go, abilities, and not just my channeling abilities, because I also have those too. But I'm going to use spiritualism principles, as well as some Gnostic points of view throughout this reading. So if this is not the kind of thing you're interested in, then get the fuck out. Don't watch this reading. Frankly, I don't care. But my point, I guess you would call goal for the reading is not to, like the others, channel entities that have never been human. For the meanings to the cards that I'm going to pull today, we're going to hook up with some people who have already lived. I'm not going to tell you what I read from them in the sense of saying this person was alive during this time and this is what they're telling me now. I'm just going to tell you what the cards mean. But I'm going to read the meaning in which you need from these cards here today based upon what I'm getting from them, without all of the confusing talk that will make your brain go to some other place, so you won't get the full meaning. So, in order to begin, I always smoke, like a ritualistic, like cigarette, and I prefer to put it out about halfway through. We're there. And then I'll smoke it at the very end of the reading to see, as we learn the embers of what else we can get. What I need you to do, or what I'm going to do, I don't need you to do it, is to take some deep breaths. Now, in spiritualism, we breathe differently than, say, just the regular, meditation breathing. So pull it deep within down here. Let's pull that one out. Next, we don't pull it there, we pull it here. Pull it out. And this is a full moon. It's a perfect time for this reading, by the way. The end of November. On the verge of December 21. Okay, now we only pull it to here. Pull it out. Now my trained breathing, I'm going to use all three. You can watch my body sort of curl up at the end. Just go. While I do these breaths, I'm balancing my chakras. I'm aligning them all. Because to me, it's like this. I'm also asking for my guides to be present. And if there's any spirits who have anything to tell us, they're going to hook up with my Kundalini. And we're going to share this message for one for all. Because each and every person alive right now is part of the collective. Everything you have to offer is just as valuable as everything anyone else has to offer. Know that. And let us begin. Okay. I prefer to pull the cards on my lap. And this is the first one that I feel called to. We have the Knight of Wands. intuitively this tells me, it draws me towards, without giving you all the details of how I do what I do, Mr. Right, Mrs. Right. They're gung-ho for a relationship. Now, this being a generalized reading, this could be you, or this could be them, secretively, and you don't know it yet. There's a lot of fire, there's a lot of desire. And just because the first card tends to be a very emotional relationship connection, this does not mean that the whole reading is going to be following this thread. It's just very important information. Okay. I like that we got 3 down here, because I'll put this deck in and move on to the next. I just had to ask a few questions for guidance there. And we're going to put it in here, because I think there's one more we need to read from that section. We have a grand adventure. It's coming our way. In fact, if you're not the traveling type, and during these times we don't get to travel as much as we would maybe like to, what can we learn from that? We've never needed to travel here in one time before, ever. We can travel from home. We can meditate. We can leave our bodies. The first sign of an astral projection is to see yourself from a different vantage point in the room. Most people chicken out about that. And that's what I'm feeling is going to be changing. Always first climb to the corner of the room. Look back at your body. Notice the silver cord. Understand that you're coming back. And be free. Let it be. Go to wherever your mind takes you, wherever your guides take you. There's so much change and so much transformation going on right here, right now, in these times. Do not deny yourself or lock yourself into this 3D body that's holding you back from getting the messages, in which you must receive, because right now, beyond the human terms, we are learning how to release what is not helping us. So to be a 40-something-year-old woman, of course for me, it's the simple things I'm trying to let go of. You know, the white devil, you know, sugar. I know I should, but I don't. I still put sugar and, you know, milk in my coffee. And when I don't, I'm a slave to that. Something's missing from my day. I don't have to put myself down for not having cream and sugar in my coffee, or for needing the sugar in my coffee. What we're doing now, right here in this end of November, beginning of December of 2020, is I'm acknowledging that that's what I need. And I'm saying I love you anyways, even though you need those things. You are in a human body, and it's okay to need those things. So I'll keep it simple and, you know, stop with that. But don't ever put yourself down for needing a human thing. But also, in my case, I weigh less than I have weighed since, you know, puberty. So for me to need that extra little bit of, you know, even fat or sugar here and there is something that in a way is beneficial for me, but I can tell you that all 4 of my grandparents have had diabetes, so I have to consider those factors as well. So instead of having, you know, 8 glasses of coffee, maybe I could have 2. But then I would want to move on to tea because I'm all about tea. And maybe if I have tea, of course, if I have tea, I'm going to want to put some things into that too, which are sugar and lemon and stuff like that. Well, the first step is acknowledging. These are facts, these are factors, this is my existence, and I don't have to change in a day. But I can feel it because I like to do yoga and things like that with other things that also give me energy. I'm just trying to help people in 2020 through their changes. You know, it's not as bad as we think. Okay, so we get really the forefront both of these cards. Absolutely, this spiritual, religious authority is within us. And now I'm getting the full collective vibe here. This is everyone moving through the collective. It seems romantic to move through. To have already understood and get these dreamy principles, but then to put them into action and play into our everyday lives, then we have to, cut it back a little. So as we're becoming 5D, and don't take that the wrong way in any way, shape, or form, because what I always see is 1, 2, 3. We do live in the 3D. Now, with spiritual authority and religious, I guess you could call hierarchy, we are going to be in and out of different information and different, basically, desires within the collective that we have to move through. So this person here, like, let's say the High Priestess or Temperance, or many of the balancing cards, is already balanced. It's going to keep us steady. It's going to keep us focused on a goal. And whether we're noticing or understanding the guidance or not, it's really leading us in the most profound of ways, right down the straight and narrow. When we think we've mastered something, especially today in 2020, it's going to be questioned. There's going to be backlash. This spiritual backlash is going to test us. This card is a card about testing us spiritually to make sure we're ready. And we're all right at that point where these things need to happen because of the next card, which is the Three of Cups. And so what do you see here? What I see here is collaboration with emotions and feelings. This card reminds me, personally, and from what I'm getting from the types of places I'm not really okay with opening up to, with about where I get my guidance, that are here and present with me now. We absolutely love to open up and connect with others emotionally, but we like to pick and choose who we will open up with emotionally. Who will actually share our own specific healings with. I would absolutely love to heal another. I do. All of the time. It's what I do. I will get into your feelings. I will tell you what I'm feeling and getting from my guides about what's going on with you in your life, but I don't really share an empath. Let's say an empath can feel the feelings of others. An empath can also block and guard and hide our own feelings. So there's many times in my life where, let's say, the people that I'm close to will be looking at me like, what, I can't read you. I do that with purpose. Because I feel almost like if I open myself up to allowing them to empathize with me, that I'm vulnerable. So this card says that in the changing scheme of things, we are going to be less closed off to that because we're going to understand and need other people to give what we're giving to them. We need to be healed too. We're strong, very strong, but we can't do it all alone. Thanks, guys. Okay, so, and then we have the balancing act, the rebalancing. And this falls right into how those cards, how that last card fell especially. For you to be balanced, you have to give, and you have to let others heal you too. In a way that's confusing to explain. I feel things, but I don't know how to say them with words. And so, yes, it's more important to you to point out, to share the ways in which you can help other people balance themselves out. This is infinity though, and so you need to let others balance you as well, which is not an easy thing to do. That is being vulnerable. It's giving a little piece of yourself up into the hands of another, and you know you're strong, you know that you're tough, you know that you have learned all the lessons you've learned, you know how to make yourself happy, but you're not ever going to fully be happy until you allow others to return what you're giving to them. So this is for all of us collective, chosen ones who are healers, you know? We forget this. We think, never will we ever be any stronger, never will we ever be, and that's it's a hard thing to explain, because we're stronger in our own ways, just like they're stronger in their own ways, and nobody's better than anybody else. It's that black and white stuff that, okay, so we readjust to protect ourselves is what I am getting, and so we choose to look within to find ways to guard ourselves even more. And yes, this is changing. And this here, this now, this time, it's changing. The paintbrush I'm painting. And it doesn't have to be, let's say, with the human beings in our lives, if we're okay with sharing with our spirit guides, or, you know, the beings that are in multitudes around us, besides for the people from space or any of those places. There's many beings, many spirits present, you know, just right up on that next little realm. But if you're not comfortable with being open with the human beings around you, maybe you'd be comfortable with being open with the spirits in that fourth realm. You know, it's just a little bit higher off the ground than we are, and it's present exactly in our place and time. So we're opening up to that. Some of these things get a little scary. Don't get me started on telling you and explaining 5D, because that could be the channeling that I do so much, and that's with the higher beings. Now, something to consider with the higher beings is don't believe everything they say. With the 4D beings, which is the spirits that are still kind of, you know, around in this realm, with them, they're not really going to lie to you as long as your guides are guiding over. I mean, you're checking in with them, you know, making sure you're safe the whole time you're on the fourth realm. So there's really no worries. You're a being of light. You're only going to draw in beings of light, and you've got your guides to protect you, your guides to protect you. If you fear in any way, which fear is an emotion emotions unnecessary for anyone ever, then, you might ask just for like your thinking mind to feel okay, but you're always okay. If there's a pushing force, then it's just because you're helping them in a way that you should be proud of and not afraid of. And don't back down, because when you back down, that would be the only time anybody could ever hurt you in that realm. And they can't hurt you personally, or your soul, or any of those things. You have thousands upon thousands of people protecting you. Fear no more. Let's move on. And I did mention this is not a normal tarot read, because that's not how I read the cards. And I'm telling you what I'm being told today, not from my celestial beings. This read, come here, up. Come here, you can come up. This one is the guidance from the spirits around me. Not for everyone. You can, get rid of watching this reading now. I'm not pushing this information on you or asking you to think the same way that I feel. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles and this hard work. Oh my goodness. Now, using everything that I have and getting the messages that I'm getting, do you know how many spirits are around you that need you to help them? Right here, right freaking now. To move on, move past. Okay, so you think of yourself as a human being in the world and life today. Imagine how they feel. They're stuck. Some of them, and some of them are way beyond. Some of them are, from different realms. They're way beyond our existence. But there are so many. Every time you ever use mediumship, and I'm not talking channeling, but we're talking to the higher beings, we should all take a moment out of every day and spend a little bit of time being a medium and asking for and looking for those lost souls. Because I'm seeing a lot of them around us right now. And all you have to do is show them the way. We maybe can't show them the way, but we can say, hey guide, my guide is Andre. And soul, I'm Sid. And so what I have to do is, I guess I'm soul, but we have to just basically say, can you please show them the way to the light? Send them to the light. This helps our planet as much, if not more, than helping the others of the human beings, no matter which dimension that they're living in. Okay? So these beings are on our planet and they're kind of stuck between the two. I read a lot about near-death experiences because I've had them and I look psychic afterwards. So please consider these things. Take one little meditation of 5 minutes a day. Whether you locate a being or not, say, guides, please. Can you send anyone that's lost around me into the light? Well, we need you to do that. We all do. That's what I'm getting. So we have this page of the wands. I'm not so sure why I have been feeling very connected to this card within this deck. Let's just say it might have something to do with the 5, 10, 15. I'm reading so many books. It's like I'm a college student again. And they're pulled to me. I just walk in the library and point, and I'm like, okay, that one, right? I get so much out of each of them. I've always been a scientist. I've always been a mathematician. So I read the kitty cat eating food over there. The sweet little baby dolls. Well, I need to share the things that I'm learning, and this is not a knowledge. Wands are not knowledge. Wands are, it's desires, it's actions, it's completely the fire. I need to share some of my fire with you. Go learn more. Don't ever stop. I know we're very sleepy, all of us right now, because of whatever's going on with the others ascending, potentially, because with me, it's not my ascension. That I went through this in 2014, 2015, but collectively, I don't mind sleeping a little extra for them if they need me to, because I'm healing them while I do it. But I know so much that I don't need to be doing it. But maybe when I'm sleeping and I'm in different realms, we're all connecting and I'm sharing my desires and saying, read the books! Become the fool! Let the world around you regenerate in a way like it has never regenerated before. Quit questioning it with your mind. Quit saying, but that's not right because I don't think it sounds right, because that's the way it's never been. Be the fool. That's what I'm pushing on to everybody. In my dreaming, I think that I'm connecting with all of you guys. I don't think I know. Next we have the Queen of Swords. So, she's not the page, she's the queen. The queen's duty is to share this with all of you. To share everything that I know, all of this divine wisdom, which is what I'm doing here. If anybody stuck around and watched or listened, whether you did or did not, I do think that I'm sharing it in dreams, where we're all connecting, and I also think that it's being shared through the collective. I do many, 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 many little surprise things for the people that I respect, the big wigs, and the little guys as well. And I share this information with love that's being passed and given on through me, because I don't just connect with the realms of the spirit world, but it's so big and out there, I also connect with the spirit world around us. And Asna, so we have not just God, we also have the Gaia, Mother Gaia, which is, Asna. I'm fully broad when it comes to all religious principles. This is the last stand. This is the last stand. We're learning a new communication style and a new communication method. I think that most of the things that I share are not with these words. Obviously, I sound like a dimwit. But I'm sharing so much more. You're getting so much more than just my words. When you watch me here, when you watch me now. You're getting light codes, activation. You're getting sound waves and vibration. Did you notice that the sound of my voice doesn't sound like the sound of voices that you hear anybody else talking about? It's because it's frequencies that are healing to you, that I've picked up from healing myself, and I'm sharing with you from my planet and my place that I come from, which is where God comes from, in a way that you didn't even know was possible, and you possess it within you too, to share and heal others with as well. So you're welcome. And thank you to all of the spirits around that have opened me up to that. You know so much more about yourself, your past lives, and your origins than you even knew before. But maybe just now from watching me, you know even more about those things. Don't question them. The very first thought that goes into your head is the right one. So as we go through this last step, this is equivalent to me as the judgment card. We're going through Judgment Day. Your mind doesn't question stuff like it used to before. You say, I remember thinking that, and you don't say, it's wrong, I don't know why I thought that. You say, I remember thinking that. And even if you just leave it at that, it'll come to you in a dream. Now that you've listened to me, which I super appreciate, because it's, why you were here, why you were born, and me also. Alright, now, let's get into some of the roots. This is stuff, and it's very, it can be harsh. But I don't feel harsh from it now. I feel very at peace with everyone present in my room with me here right now. We get nine of discs. This is gay. This is beautiful. We are gaining more now than we think that we are. And you're gaining now more because you heard this message from me. You're welcome. It's coming. That makes me think that it has already come. Or you wouldn't be getting so much out of it. You're already way farther along than you think you are. That's pretty beautiful. Okay. And of course, I always get two when I get a, cord card. We get a disc, and that's the prince of the discs. This guy's gung-ho going in there fighting for the cause. I feel like whether you're thinking mind things are doing that or not, you've been doing that for a very long time. You're doing it whether you want to or not. I'm not doing that anymore, is what your brain would say to you. But the happenings in your life are forcing it anyways. Oh my gosh, and how beautiful, because that's stringing upon the string. But getting stronger, collective. We're going to be ready. I will not kid you that I was having a conversation earlier with one of my other light dark worker friends. And so, I made the joke of, I don't know, I was all ready for this to happen, but like, what if we're not ready for it to happen when it happens and we're ready? That's what the cards said. The cards are always right. They're not the only ones speaking. Let me remind you. And the weird thing is that there are 9 spirits here with me now from the realm, correlating with our existence. They're basically lost souls. Go home, guys. Find the light. I love every little love thing you had to share with me. You didn't scare me in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so the very last card is going to be the strength. We have 5 wands. Do you know how many times 5 wands have come up for me today? We can't avoid these things when they come up in our readings. I'm not going to throw it off. I'm not going to throw it off to the side. I'm not going to ignore it. This is what we work for, continuously, forever. There will not ever be a day, not in your existence, not in mine, where we are not going to be working through some kind of strife. It's our job. Just exist. Be the happiest that you can be. When you're going through a moment of sadness, or when you're going through a moment of anger, look at yourself. Pretend like you were able to astrally project out of your body and be standing in the corner of the room, right? And say, oh my God, I love her when she's angry. Or, oh my God, I love her when she's crying. She's so emotional. I love her feelings. She feels them so strong. Just be the empath that you are. Use the new senses that you're getting. Our cute little kitties are playing over there. They do that. They would be like, if we were to step out of our body and be sitting on the other side of the room. The little kittens, they do that. And my little doggy's always done it too. He is love. And they look at us like, oh, I love her. I love her when she's angry. I love her when she's mad. And so just reason with yourself, well, why does she feel that way? Why do I feel mad? Why do I feel angry? This is how we let it go. You're doing great. I'm doing great. I don't care what's going on with you today. I don't care what's going on with you yesterday or what happens next week. You cannot make a bad decision. There's no such thing as sin when you look at it from the right perspective. It was all meant to happen. But yes, when we do make bad choices, we're going to have to deal with things. Aside from the lacking financial attributes, because my Buddhist beliefs will not let me be just slave to that stuff or take advantage of or use anybody to have that stuff, and I'm happy no matter what. I don't think that I've made a mistake basically my whole life, really, if you think about it, but I haven't heard another maliciously or in spite in any way, like as far back as I can remember. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's what we're all striving for, this strife, to get there too. I heard something the other day, our everyday life, and that's a confusing one because they talk in words that, they say everyday life, but it's definitely not for everyday people. These twin flames, the stuff that we would like think about, like it was always leaving us hanging. That may be something for us light workers to consider, that not that we don't have a twin flame, but for the way that it's portrayed out there with the words, maybe we were thinking that we were left wanting or needing. Lose it, get rid of it, because you're exactly perfect, with or without them, in this whole entire lifetime. I always used to think like that, well, that's when it all comes together. It's all together right now. And it would be wonderful if you weren't spending the next 60 years thinking, I can't wait till this happens because that's when I can really work for the light. Instead, work for the light right now. Right here, right now. Because, especially for somebody who's lucky enough to know who they are, the universe has chosen that maybe you guys can work better apart from each other. And let's say that you're mirroring each other or having the same life circumstances. You don't even need to know about it. Be the best you can be. Be as healthy as you can be. Be as pure as you can be. You only get rewarded when you help others. That's the way it goes. If you're lacking abundance, it's because you were closing yourself off and being an introvert, and you weren't out there healing the world. For each and every time that you heal anyone, anywhere, ever, that's when the abundance comes back to you. And you may have been thinking, I was so sidetracked, I was so stuck on, I was just waiting for this. Quit waiting. And it will come. You're the most perfect you that you could ever be. And you don't really need them in any way. And I say don't really need them because that would be beautiful too. The key is being beautiful with or without. And healing with or without. That's maybe too easy for us. We've always lived the hard life. We've always struggled a little bit harder. Let's say we had them and didn't have the struggling. Maybe we wouldn't be able to heal others. So get out there. You don't have to get out there, but heal as much as you can. The one person who's texting, the one person who's messaging that you're like, not again. Why can they're just totally taking advantage of me? Tell them, don't take advantage of me, because my time is worthy. It's more worthy than that. Don't let them keep texting you. Or if you're feeling compelled the other way, heal them, because that's what you actually probably really should do, but because you probably can. The hard jobs are the ones that are being sent to us for a reason. So choose wisely. Only if and when you are pure and healed within yourself. And like I was trying to make with the whole point of this message was, if you can heal the people around you, the spirits around you that are lost, and make your environment pure, can you heal them? Otherwise, you're going to say, I can't believe that person is asking so much from me for nothing. But I think that's just a reminder that we need to heal the spirits around us as well. And once we do that, we can snap our fingers and heal them in a fraction of a second, probably without words. Just send some Reiki. Like, go through it. Check their system out. Figure out what they need to strengthen and send it to them without even telling them. And the world will be a better place because of you and me. Just wait, you'll see. Alright, so stay grateful, stay thankful, stay blessed. We will all be blessed if we all do these things all the time. Really watch what you're putting into your body right now. Don't get down on yourself if you're having the emotions because of what's going through the collective right now, of things that you didn't think were part of you anymore. Look at yourself from a distance. Get out of your body. Say, oh my gosh, that's so cute, and I understand why she's like that. And she's a human. He's a human. I get it. No judging. Not now. We're moving into our higher beings. We don't have any time for all of that. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Nobody, because I know that probably not even one person watched this, but I'll watch it. So it was for me. Hey Melinda, thanks for watching. You're amazing. Thank you for all that you do. Like, all that you do. It's so much. You're so big. You're so good. You graduated. You're awesome. And I can't wait to see your next video. Neither can Tom. He loves me. eM3DJ3@gmail.com for a personalized reading. Oh my god, I can't wait to get into your drama and really dig into your life. Because that's my favorite thing in the world to do. And I only accept PayPal. That's it, man. If you can't pay me on PayPal, then find somebody else to lie to you about your life. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm worth it, because not for 1 second would I ever not be able to tell you the truth, positive or not. I'm going to tell you your future. I have connections. It's what I do. I got it after I died. Being psychic's not all it's, cracked up to be, so don't ask for that too much. But it does help you in your everyday life. It's pretty cool. I mentioned that I was going to finish off the cigarette. See if there's any messages I get at the end. It's kind of like a ritual or sacrificial thing that I do. This is what I'm going to tell you. Divorced it. And really that's all you need when you're open. I don't see 3 days of no sunshine. I do think that, let's consider this in a different way. I don't think there's 3 days of all the internet being shut off either. You know what my guys are telling me now, and what I got in my dreams and from the sources around me for 3 days. In, on, around, I think my 3 days have already come. In fact, I think it's a past thing for me. Not on the 21st, but I'm an old soul. I'm one of the founders. I'm far above. But that doesn't make me a better person. For 3 days, you can't use your abilities that you have. For 3 days, I couldn't be psychic. For 3 days, I couldn't be positive. For 3 days, they pushed me into a place where I couldn't use the skills that I have learned. No bad catastrophes happened. It just reminded me of what it felt like before. And that's what I think the 3 days of darkness means. So with that, I'm going to stop my video. I'm in the know. And anybody else who says different things can fucking suck it. Because you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots watching the stupid news. Have you watched one television show in the last month? Have you heard the subliminal messages coming from the retarded idiot. Okay. There's not going to be 3 days of darkness. We're not going to starve. But, collectively, wherever you are on the scale, for 3 days of your life, you're not going to be able to use the things that you've earned within yourself by becoming enlightened. Just as a freaking reminder. There you go. Now you know. That's what I think is going to happen. Sorry to sound cheesy, but they sound a lot cheesier than me with their, oh my God, the lights are going to go off and we're all going to starve. Believe what you want to believe. I believe it means for 3 days, 3 full days, each of us will be not able to connect with our sources and everything we've earned and learned. And that's the final test of Judgment Day. So much love, so much peace. Namaste. For me, MJ, your Atlas to Life. See you next time. Peace. I'm out.